Hello everyone, and thank you for joining me here. My name is Christian Martin of Christian Martin & Associates, a sports technology and consultancy firm specializing in agile methodology and partner of the SportIn Global Summit. The SportIn Global Summit is a three-part virtual event bringing together the greatest minds across the sports industry to talk about data and the future of sports. We had our last summit in the Americas on August 26th, having hundreds of participants show up for the event. And next we have our European Summit with another 5 speakers and another several hundred participants. Today I'm joined by one of the Europe Summit speakers. His name is António Veloso. António Veloso is full professor in biomechanics and director of the Biomechanics lab at the University of Lisbon since 2010. António has served on the board of several societies, such as the Society of Biomechanics and the International Society of Biomechanics in Sports. António has published more than 200 papers in peer-reviewed academic journals and in Congress proceedings. His research interests include the biomechanics of human movement, where he focuses on the development of experimental methodologies, including the modeling and simulation of mechanical loads on the musculoskeletal system. Recently, he, together with football coach José Mourinho, developed the High Performance in Football Coaching Postgrad, which is the first Portuguese academic program specifically developed for football coaching directed at an international public, with the wholehearted emphasis on clear-cut teaching learning methodologies. António, thank you for joining us today. How are you?
Thank you. Everything okay? Everything perfect.
Great. Well, thank you for being here. We're going to dive into a few questions with you. So first of all, can you tell us more specifically, what is it that you do in the sports industry?
Well, as you mentioned, I'm a specialist in biomechanics since a lot of years already. And at Biomechanics and of Human Movement Lab of the University of Lisbon, we have been developing different methods to evaluate mechanical load in the musculoskeletal system, as you mentioned, but also ways to optimize performance in sports and also other types of applications. But what concerns the sport, we focus on performance optimization, reducing of injury risk, and assessment of injury recovery procedures and techniques.
Wonderful. That all sounds like very exciting material. And can you tell us a little bit about your past? What was your first sports job and how did that come about for you?
Well, I basically, my past work was related to biomechanics and with a strong application to sports. From besides the ones that I mentioned before, also evaluation of equipment, optimization of different sports equipment, but mainly focusing in optimization of sports and developing of new techniques for evaluation of movement analysis and with those main objectives of optimization of performance, improving performance, at the same time reducing the risk of injury on the different sports that we mainly studied, and also how the techniques to optimize and to reduce the time span after injury on returning to the sport, returning to training, returning to competition. So that's the main area. Besides, the responsibilities is on teaching, particularly teaching sports sciences students at the different levels, master, PhD, and also all the levels basically. So a lot related to education, and also some specific applications, support for some national teams to specific players, evaluating the risk of injury in some cases, mainly in the lower limb, and so that's let's say that link to sports is mainly from the academic and a lot from the scientific base.
All right. Well, I'm sure there's a lot for us to learn there. And can you tell us just a little sneak peek? What can we expect to hear you talk about at the SportIn Global Summit?
Well, my new let's say my new project and the one that bring me to the summit is that together with José Mourinho, there is also a alumni from the University of Lisbon, is to develop a new approach to coach education, basically trying to fill the gap between what are the regular academic courses for coaches or the certifications from the FAs, from the federations and from the confederations of the sport, of soccer, of football, is to bring together all the issues, all the specific subjects that are usually not covered on those courses. And a lot of them have to be with the use of data, how to integrate data, how to use new data. And because right now a lot of the coaches are submitted to tons of data that are not linked together. You receive data from the GPS loading of training load from the GPS, or from different tests that the players perform with sports scientists. Then you have the analysis coming from the game analysis services, and then you have information from the scouting. Everybody uses a lot of data, trying to profile players, trying to relate the players with the game models and so on. And it's quite complicated to try to understand all these data coming together. And that's what was one of the plans when we organized and we thought about this program, is exactly to bring these new technologies and put it and explain it, because a lot of let's say it's really common that someone that developed one of those techniques of data gathering and data analysis is a specialist on their own field, but the coach has to integrate all this information. And there's a lot to do yet on this ability to integrate all this information. And that's one of the main objectives of this program. Is a program directed at coaches with some experience, young coaches but with some experience, and teach them about the new trends, the new information, but always maintaining the ability or the capacity to link the different types of information and build a more structurized profile of that information to be useful for the day-to-day training and the day-to-day preparation of games and training sessions and so on.
Right on. That's going to be a lot of great content. So thank you for sharing that with us, and thank you for being us with here today. Just for everyone that is watching, a reminder that the SportIn Global Summit is happening for Europe on September 30th, and that you can register for the event at sportinglobal.com/summit, where we'll have speakers like Antonio and others at the event. You could also find their profiles on the platform and also find job opportunities if you're looking for opportunities in sport. So, Antonio, thank you again, and we look forward to seeing you on the 30th.
Exciting. Thank you very much.
All right.